This is the Hub on Hollywood. I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
And we love movies. Jamie, always a pleasure. How you doing?
James, good. And yourself?
Doing well.
How's life?
Life's good. The weather is dramatically changing. I feel the season. I feel like summer has come to an end. It's getting colder, windier. There's a hurricane going on in the Gulf of Mexico right now, so the weather's changing, weather's acting up, and so I'm getting kind of scared. Scared of winter, scared of snow.
Yeah, it's 59 degrees. It's 59 degrees. It's been like in the 90s
It's bone chilling in California.
Yeah. That's right. Well, you just had your first winter in New England last year, so
yeah.
How do you feel about going into this next one?
Well, I'm still kind of scared because I was told by everybody before last winter that, be prepared. It's going to be the worst. It's going to be terrible. And when it came, now for somebody from California, yeah, it was pretty bad. But according to everybody else, it was a very easy winter. So I still haven't seen the worst
mild.
of the worst. And people can still rub that in my face and, be evil and wishing the worst experience for me. But I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, let's go. Blizzard 2020. What else do we have to lose, right?
I know, right? Now, one thing that we're not losing, but we're giving, if this is a good segue, we're giving away, not us giving it away, but there's casting calls that we're going to tell you about. And it's a pretty quick list of casting calls, but a pretty interesting one. Also, we're going to be talking about Tom Cruise news. The Cruise news is in full effect. Apparently, he saw Tenet.
Cruise news that you can use.
Yeah, exactly.
Tenet, excellent.
Apparently, he saw Tenet in London. We will talk about his experience, and he saw it in the theater with people. Isn't that crazy in public?
What?
I know. Insane.
It's amazing.
But before that movie, they played trailers. I'm not sure if these trailers played, but they recently were released on the internet. We saw trailers for the new film, The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, and also the new trailer for Wonder Woman 1984. So we got a good look at that. And also, we're going to talk about things that we want to see, the stuff that we haven't seen already, things that we've been hearing about, and we'll move on from there. But again, thank you so much for tuning into this week's Hub on Hollywood. I'm James. That's Jamie. Please follow us on Twitter. Our Twitters are down below right here. Our social media for the Hub on Hollywood. We're also at Hub on Hollywood. You can find us there on Instagram, on Twitter. We're also on Facebook. If you're watching us on YouTube, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe. Also on Facebook, please share. That's always good. Always good to have. Good to have the support.
Absolutely. So why don't we kick today off with our one and only casting call that we have to tell folks about today. But it's like you said, it's a really interesting one. So this is coming from Slate Casting. They say happy Thursday, everyone. They are looking for a non-union African-American or Hispanic females who are athletic and like to run. That is very important because if you're like, oh, you know what, I can run a little bit, they are going to make you run. Okay. Whenever they ask you for a skill or something like that, expect to do it ad nauseum.
Yeah. So not just one take.
Not just one take, people. It's multiple takes and things that take hours and hours. So just be prepared to actually run. So looking for non-union African-American Hispanic females age 45 to 65. So looking for a little bit older. No acting experience necessary. So what they're asking for is a current photo, name, contact info, agent if you have one, the city you live in, and a brief description of your workout routine. They want to know all about it. There's going to be a potential Zoom audition later this week. It shoots September 3rd. If cast, they're trying to fill this ASAP. So if you are interested, that sounds like you are going to want to send those pictures and information to slateselftape@gmail.com. Good luck.
So as you were reading the casting call, I saw something on Twitter, and you are sitting down, so please brace yourself, okay? I'm not sure if you saw this yet.
Oh no!
Breaking news. But Macaulay Culkin, he tweeted this morning. Or rather yesterday, he goes, "Hey guys, want to feel old? I'm 40. You're welcome." Macaulay Culkin.
Oh God.
Yeah. Kevin McAllister, Home Alone.
Yeah.
40 years old. That sounds insane.
Yeah, it does. It does. But he's been through so much in his life that he's kind of already aged beyond his years. And I don't know.
Are you saying he looks older than 40?
I I'm saying that he actually looks younger now than he did like 5 or 10 years ago. Like he seems to be on the road to recovery from whatever he went through, and he looks healthier. He looks great. He's grown up. You know what the glow up is? So,
yeah.
So he has grown up. He's he's looking healthy as ever. So I'm really happy for Macaulay Culkin. Happy 40th birthday. Wait a minute, was his birthday yesterday?
Well, he tweeted this.
Or this week?
He tweeted it yesterday, and so it appears it may have been his birthday. But yeah,
oh, okay. Well, we have very similar birthdays then.
Yeah, and so
because the other celebrity birthday in the news, I'm 21 again.
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah. So yeah, it's miraculous how it's 21 every single year. But great, Macaulay Culkin,
21
40,
every single year.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, his birthday was yesterday. Yeah, so Home Alone, the original one, came out in 1990. I was born in 1990, so first time I had seen the movie, I was already a couple years old and watching it on VHS. And so watching it, maybe because in the movie he plays an 8-year-old, and so around that time, maybe 5 or 6 is when I watched it. Kind of felt like I was the same age, but of course there's this I don't know how old he was during the making of the movie, but. 10 years older than me, but
about the same
makes me feel old, unfortunately, but that's the way of life. But one thing that is not affected by time is Tom Cruise. No matter how many years pass by, he's still looking good. He's looking great, fresh faced.
Or how many couches. Yeah.
Or how many couches he can jump on. No, but fresh faced guy, but with a face mask. He recently saw the new movie by Christopher Nolan, Tenet, in an actual movie theater in London with other people, scary, scary people in their germs. But it was pretty cool because on Monday, he tweeted out a video, like a 34-second video of him driving through London or being driven through London because Tom Cruise doesn't drive, of course. And he goes to the screening of Tenet. And even though it was a screening, the theater looked pretty packed, and there, it looks like a normal amount of people in a normal showing, but people were wearing their masks. So was Tom. And then after the movie, he says that he loves the movie, he really loved it. He said it twice, and it's pretty interesting that will Tom Cruise, will his confidence in the movie theater bring back people and fill up those seats again? Time will tell, but that's gonna be interesting.
I would trust, at this point, the movie theaters in another country more than ours. So if I had seen Tom Cruise in a movie theater in, like, Los Angeles, maybe I would have more confidence, like, if he feels safe about it.
Yeah.
But, London, I can see, that's fine. They've gotten ahead of the virus, but we'll see how things continue to develop. We know that AMC and Regal Theaters are looking to start reopening theaters here in the United States. AMC is going to have, 15-cent movies to try to draw people in, the classics like Jaws and all of that. So we'll see how it goes down once these theaters start reopening here.
Yeah, Edgar Wright, he directed Shallow Hal, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and a bunch of other stuff, Baby Driver. He also saw Tenet in the movie theaters too, and then because he posted about it on Twitter, and then somebody asked him, would he recommend people going to see it in the theaters? And he says, quote, "I'd say if you feel safe doing so, the cinemas that I've been to in the last few weeks went out of their way to make the audience feel secure, then it's absolutely worth seeing on the biggest screen," talking about Tenet. And so, Tenet, and again, Christopher Nolan, he's one of those directors kind of like Quentin Tarantino, where they make their movies so they can be seen on a big screen in theaters. And so, yes, there's a big push for getting this movie seen by a lot of people, obviously in a safe way where they can reopen theaters. But yeah, there's a big push to get people to see the movie as Christopher Nolan intended. But let me ask you, last question. What do you think is more dangerous for Tom Cruise? Like holding on to a military airplane while hanging on the outside, or sitting down in a crowded movie theater with dirty people?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, was he just sitting with a normal crowd? Like, did he just like sneak in and it's like Tom Cruise is sitting in the back of the theater and
Well, this was,
was
according to Vanity Fair, this was a screening, and so maybe other people that were able to see it earlier than obviously the general public. But it looked like a pretty crowded theater. I was surprised that you didn't see so many spaces or kind of things blocked off or people spaced out. But again, everybody was wearing a mask, and it's funny, during the 34-second video of Tom Cruise being driven through London, there's a part where some girls at a red light, they recognize him and they're waving to him and everything, and he's laughing, even with a mask, they still recognize me. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, I think more dangerous than Tom Cruise being in a crowded movie theater or doing his stunts in his movie, I think, is just being out and about in public. After people have been cooped up for so long, I just feel like they would jump him or what. How do you recognize Tom Cruise with a mask?
It's the eyes. It's the eyes. It's like a shark's eyes. You never forget what they look like.
Yeah. A shark's eyes.
They can be kind of lifeless and terrifying at times. And that's Tom Cruise. All right, so now that we have Tenet, now that we have Tenet out of our way, let's talk about some of these new trailers that we saw popping up, including the new Robert Pattinson movie, The Batman.
The Batman.
Yeah, and so this.
Right.
I know Robert, I don't know him personally, but I know he's a great actor, and he gets still a lot of crap for his Twilight days, but no, I know he's very capable, so I was never really unsure about him being able to do this, be Bruce Wayne and Batman. But after I saw this trailer initially, I saw it once before, immediately I was sold, hook, line, and sinker, that this was the right pick, and he's I think he's going to be one of the best Batmen that we've seen. Have you seen the trailer yet?
Oh, I have. So that's a pretty strong statement. I think that I shared your concern. I was like, oh my gosh, what, you're gonna have a sparkly, Batman? Like, is he gonna come out? He's the Batman, and he's in the dark and all of this stuff. Because if he goes in the light, he will sparkle.
I must have had fewer concerns than you.
That's why he has to stay in the dark.
Yeah.
That's why he has to wear the whole body thing. But, so I was concerned that, that pretty boy image might be an insurmountable thing, But seeing the way that they, just the costume design, the makeup, and everything, he felt gritty. He looks like a completely different person. It felt, at least from the little bit that I saw of him in the trailer, believable. I have some other concerns, but what do you think?
Well,
why don't we go ahead and watch it?
Our first look at the Riddler.
Your secret friend. Who?
I love the way Jim Gordon looks.
Haven't a clue.
I love Batman's heels.
Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you?
The reveal.
Dad.
You're becoming quite a celebrity.
Colin Farrell is also in this movie, and he is totally unrecognizable.
Why is he writing to you?
Yeah. I had no idea he was in it.
That's Colin Farrell.
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
The hell are you supposed to be?
Very violent.
So good.
I'm vengeance.
That is so great. And then that scene, Batmobile.
Yeah. I am very excited for this version of the Batmobile. I'm loving the music, the musical score, very modern, very intense. I might watch it just for the soundtrack alone.
You're part of this too.
How am I part of it?
You'll see.
Awesome. And the question marks 2021.
All right, so that trailer, what a great way to hype this movie up, even though you don't need to hype it up even more. But for those that were on the fence, again, I feel like I wasn't on the fence. I feel I have good confidence in Robert Pattinson, and so really excited that this trailer sells it. And the first things that I kind of took away from this trailer, obviously right in the beginning, we have the first look of the Riddler, which is in stark contrast of what we've seen before with like Jim Carrey, or the original 1960s series. And so he kind of looks more like a serial killer in this version. This kind of, I don't know, mystery with this kind of mask. It was pretty. That surprised me, but very interesting, very bold. Batman's reveal after Jim Gordon reads the Riddler's card, his just stepping forward, and you can see it's cool because in the scene where it follows Jim Gordon initially, and he's walking past all the other police officers, and the officers are looking right behind him, and they're looking right at Batman, because that's, I guess, his perspective, and just seeing everybody kind of like in disbelief and just kind of like in awe and in just kind of on edge as they're watching this character walk through and working with them. So that was really cool.
Yeah, no, a few takeaways. Definitely a darker tone. There's been such a variety of different takes on Batman over the years. Like you were mentioning, Jim Carrey's Riddler, way different from this, was more zany and fun and ridiculous. I think personally I prefer that kind of tone when it comes to these movies, but I think they're establishing something that's very dark. I love how these actors are so in character that they become someone else. So I was mentioning a little bit before, I think like it looks like they've changed Robert Pattinson's face, like his whole aura, his whole look, everything about him is not recognizable as his previous characters, and I appreciate that. Colin Farrell, completely unrecognizable. Talk about getting into character for his role, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, that work should already be nominated for an Oscar, because Colin Farrell, unrecognizable. He's playing the Penguin, aka Oswald Cobblepot. But that's insane. Like if you go back and just look at it, if you show that picture to 100 people out of context, they would never. I'm confident they would never guess that's Colin Farrell. So that's great makeup.
Never ever guess.
Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
So shocked.
Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman looks really good. Doesn't look very cheesy how Halle Berry's Catwoman looked like, but I'm digging the beanie, digging the cat-like ears on it, so that's really cool. I guess she and Batman have a fight. Should be fun.
I really hope that they've done that character justice, because like you said, it's been kind of cheesily done in the past. So I'm hyped for a more serious Catwoman. But also this is I think some people have described it as brutal, as cruel, as like the violence in this. And there's that one shot where Batman is like just beating this guy, and it just goes on, and I think what makes it so intense is it's a one continuous static shot of him just beating this guy. And I guess just this being the style of that of the director, I'm digging it. I'm not really into the more violent movies, but I dig what he's putting across and how it looks and how it sounds. The score is incredible. I like I said, I might watch this just for the soundtrack.
Yeah, and talking about going back to that clown beatdown scene. I absolutely love that. I think that definitely gives you the definitive, sense of the tone of the movie. Now, one thing I love about this movie or this scene is that it's very reminiscent to when Ben Affleck, when he first filled the boots and the cape of Batman, and you have that warehouse scene. That warehouse scene where Batman is just demolishing people and going through them like a machine. That's one of the grittiest to date, one of the grittiest versions of Batman and most violent versions of Batman. And I thought, you can't top that. That performance, that choreography is great. And then just seeing 5 seconds of this Batman beating up this clown. It looks just as violent, and again, not that that's what makes that's what makes the movie great, but again, it just sets the tone immediately, and lets you know what kind of movie you're getting into. And Robert Pattinson, he can kick ass, and so I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to him also driving the Batmobile with that fire exhaust port in the back. So that reminds me of the classic.
It looks awesome.
That reminds me of the classic Adam West Batmobile mixed with like a modern souped up muscle car. So that looks amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm sold. I'm ready to see this movie.
Yeah, we're sold. I'm sold. I just, like I said, dark movies are not my thing, but this just looks like it is so well done. I don't like dark for the sake of dark. Mm-hmm. But give me something that is just well done and crisp and intimate. And I think what's so violent about that scene in the trailer, it's like, in other movies, he's killing 100 bad guys and whatever, but like just a one-on-one, and they never break away from it, they never cut away, and it's just bam, bam, bam. That's, that what I mean by an intimacy, that where you get really in and nitty-gritty with the character. So I'm really excited to see just this vision, just cinematographically, is that a word?
Cinematography? Yeah. Very close.
Cinematographic, the cinematography of this movie, I'm really excited.
It's so good, it creates new words.
Yeah, exactly. It's that great. It's just that great. So, looking forward to that. But another film that we're going to be looking at that we're also hyped for, but is just, take the darkness and flip it upside down, is Wonder Woman, which we're also going to talk about. But do you have any other final thoughts on Batman before we move on?
No, I'm just excited. It comes out next year, and I believe they've only filmed about 25% of the film. They had to stop because of the pandemic, and so that trailer, we're just seeing portions of just 25% of what they filmed, which is really impressive. So excited for more.
Yes. You know what else I'm excited for? More of the Hub on Hollywood.
Yes.
And if anybody else wants to get more Hub on Hollywood and listen to our reviews and analysis and our takes and watch previews and trailers and all of that, go ahead and find us, Hub on Hollywood. You can listen to us on all of the major podcast streaming services. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find us. iHeartRadio, etc., etc. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Just type in Hub on Hollywood. You don't need the Hub on Hollywood. Find us, listen to us, love us, like us, gotta have us, share us, and join the conversation. We would love, love, love to hear from you and talk about what you want to talk about also. Yeah,
there we go. So another thing that we love talking about, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot. And so as you mentioned, the new trailer for the Wonder Woman 1984 dropped this week. We got another look of Chris Pine, Gal Gadot in her Wonder Woman attire. Also a better look at the movie's villain, who some people were initially surprised who was cast to be a villain, and is a comedian, Kristen Wiig of SNL fame and of countless other movies, including Bridesmaids, I believe she was in. And so we got a first look of Kristen Wiig and her transformation into the villain Cheetah. And I think I'm so curious of how they're going to bring back Chris Pine's character, back from the dead. Yeah. Spoiler if you haven't seen Wonder Woman, the first one, yet, but Chris Pine's character, he heroically gave us his life to save the people of America, for everybody. Anyway, yeah. and so he
very patriotic, very Wonder Woman.
Exactly, but he's back in this film. Not sure how. But I like their chemistry. He's still playing in this version because now it takes place in 1984. He's the fish out of water. He doesn't know what's going on. There's a quick montage at the very end of the trailer where he has like this little fashion shoot, or not fashion shoot, but little fashion montage.
That's very, very cute. So there's just so much 80s in here. Talk about a radically different tone. It's so colorful. It looks so fun. It looks so bright. I'm super, super excited for this. And it's got all the great 80s neon colors. It's got the big hair. It's got the fanny packs. It's got the parachute pants. So I really am happy that they brought back Chris Pine and that they're, bringing back that chemistry that we love so much from the original Wonder Woman film. And I think that they bounce off of each other so well. I'm really interested to see what the plot is that brings Chris Pine back, but it seems to be something along the lines of somebody has unleashed the power for people to bring about their greatest desires, and obviously that is her greatest wish is to have Chris back after his untimely death, and it seems like Cheetah wants to be someone of importance. She starts off, it seems like, as a reporter in the trailer, someone who's interviewing Wonder Woman, and by the end of it she becomes a villain because she wants to be the most powerful villainess or something along those lines. So.
According to comics, Cheetah, because I did a quick search, but apparently Cheetah is one of Wonder Woman's earliest comic villains and one of her most common comic book villains. And her origin story is that, I think you're right that she may be a reporter, but she and Wonder Woman were at this fundraiser, and then Wonder Woman, just being as great as she is, just steals all the attention, steals the show, and then she just gets very jealous and apparently has a split personality. And when she goes back home after having having a terrible time at the charity, she looks into the mirror and her split personality is dressed entirely in cheetah skin and tells her to get her cheetah rug, pretty much make a costume and become a supervillain. And that's Cheetah's origins in the comics. And this one, I think there's a little more to play. Yeah, go for it.
Why do all of these female villains have to be cats? Why do they have to be feline? Like, we've got Catwoman and Cheetah, and why the cats?
There's Black Panther. Black Panther's a dude.
Black Panther's a dude, sure, and yeah, but.
And what about what about Thundercats? Thundercats are both men and women.
Thundercats. I suppose. All right, as long as there's equal gender,
equal representation,
gender equal as far as the feline theme goes. I don't know. That's just my random thought on that.
Yeah, well, this movie is actually still slated for its October release. It was pushed back originally, but it's still looking for October 2nd of this year to come out in theaters. Now, again, fingers crossed that in October we're looking good. So if that's going to be a very, very big popular one, which I imagine it would be, then I'm sure people would love to see that one also on a big screen.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm wondering, is this going to be able to come out on time in the actual cinema, in the actual theaters? Because this would be a really, really great one to actually be sitting there in your seat with your soda, feet up, and on the big screen. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if it turns out that going to the movies and it seems to be more of a safe practice. Maybe you and I can go see Wonder Woman 1984 and in all of its glory. I just can't wait to see Chris Pine.
Yeah, Chris Pine, he's a doll. What's not to love? But if people are still not comfortable with going out in the theaters, there's still plenty of options, plenty of things to watch right at home, right on your couch. And recently I just finished season 1 of The Legend of Korra, the spin-off from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And it's on Netflix also, and it's pretty good. I know we're talking about The Last Airbender and talking a little bit about, I guess some people were split on whether or not they liked Korra and that series. So far, at the end of season 1, I like it. It's not as great as The Last Airbender because The Last Airbender is just great on so many other levels already. But The Legend of Korra, I like it. All the characters are really great, really fun, and the ending for season 1 was really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to getting season 2 started. What have you been watching anything, or are you excited to watch anything new?
Besides continuing to binge on Ugly Betty,
nice.
I'm really excited for this film coming to Netflix with Henry Cavill, Millie Bobby Brown, Enola Holmes. So it's a brand new film. This is a teenager who is Sherlock Holmes's sister, Sherlock Holmes's younger sister, who goes on an adventure when their mother goes missing, and she's running away from her 2 older brothers in order to solve the mystery on her own, and it just looks so cool. I really liked the trailer. This is going to be coming out in September 23rd. Millie Bobby Brown of
Stranger Things fame.
Happy to see great things continuing to happen for her, and she's just a doll, and she is so good at what she does. So this one looks like a lot of fun. Also, I have a growing appreciation for Henry Cavill as an actor.
He's so good.
Yeah, so he's really good in his series The Witcher on Netflix as well. So I'm
he's playing the Sherlock Holmes in this film, and Henry Cavill, been a big fan of his. I still, to my dying day, I will encourage people to watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E., starring Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer. It's such a great 1960s, Soviet Union, Cold War, spy, action comedy, more actiony. But Man from U.N.C.L.E., go watch it. Henry Cavill is amazing.
Yeah.
Really cool dude. So that one's coming out on Netflix. Enola Holmes.
Yeah. Enola Holmes.
Yeah,
Enola
that's coming
Holmes.
out on Netflix.
Come for the muscles, stay for the great acting.
Yes, next month, September 23rd. So that I'll look forward to looking at. There's this South Korean movie called Train to Busan that came out several years ago, but it's apparently getting a sequel. And the original one, it's a zombie movie, but this one takes place on a train, and I've heard really, really great reviews of Train to Busan. Cool. And so apparently the sequel is coming out soon. So Train to Busan, also on Netflix. I'm planning to watch that soon so I can watch the sequel. But that's what I'm looking at right now. But other than that, I like watching other trashy stuff on Netflix, like Selling Sunset or some other gossipy shows, because every now and then you need to dumb down, turn the brain off for a while.
Yeah, every now and then you need just a little bit of a break. But one thing I'm maybe not looking forward to so much are some rumors that I've been seeing online about a possible Kylo Ren spinoff from either... it sounds like the rumors say that Disney is in the very early stages of production on some sort of Kylo Ren project, either a movie or a TV show, that more than likely probably focuses on Kylo before the last trilogy that came out, so maybe his fall to the dark side and working with Snoke and all of that. And I gotta say, you know me. I love Adam Driver's Kylo Ren. I'm so excited for the character and all the potential that it had, but I think, I don't know. I don't have faith that they can do it justice. I think the last film left a sour taste in everyone's mouths with Kylo Ren's death at the end. Spoiler. So I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be excited for that. I'm excited for the comics and all that, but I don't know how I would feel about. I feel like they're beating a dead horse or beating a dead Sith with that one.
Yeah, I think Disney just wants to get past, like, I think they are also not happy with the final trilogy, with how it happened, and especially the fan response, and because several changes on what they were planning to make when it came to other movies or TV shows were dramatically changed. Those plans when we got feedback from The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, and so I think they, if anything, they just want people to forget about the new trilogy and just focus on the spin-offs, focus on the TV shows, and focus on other stories to tell in the Star Wars universe. So if they were going to do anything kind of prequel-ish for Kylo, I think that, like you said, it's just you're treading on too much ground that you've already covered, and it would have to, I imagine, it would have to be animated. I don't think Adam Driver would come back for this. Yeah, no. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would maybe quasi be excited for, and I've said this a million times, and I know you think I'm ridiculous, is if they brought him back from the dead, like they brought him back from the world between worlds.
Would they have to explain it? If they did do that, I would hope they explained it better than The Rise of Skywalker in the first sentence of the opening scroll that, oh yeah, Palpatine, he's alive. Because that would be like, no, you need to explain what's going on.
That's the only explanation you get.
No, you need to have something better than that. That's ridiculous. That still pisses me off.
All right, let's not end on a negative note. We're gonna get all angry again.
No.
Yeah, lots of great things coming in the future, TV wise, movie wise, and we will talk about all of them here on the Hub on Hollywood. So keep coming to us. We'll bring those positive vibes to you.
All right. Well, for the Hub on Hollywood, I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
And we'll see you next week.
Time.